Hi. Morning. How are we doing? We've got the check one today. Good. You love them, eh? You love them. Yeah, happy Chris. Mark, congratulations on being nominated for Manager of the Month.
Don't think I'll win. There you go. Let's hope I don't.
Things occur, Steve, still. But with that in mind, I wonder whether actually you look at the next month because of the injury problems you've got and think, actually, that's when I'll really earn my corner as a manager. It's going to be a bit of a battle for you, isn't it?
Well, we're hoping we're going to get a few back, but yeah, they all seem to have coincided at the same period of the season. Maybe it's not a coincidence because we've just come through a really tough period for games in terms of the Christmas period and the quality of the opposition we've been up against. So that extra, obviously, demand on you as a player in terms of the amount of games and the opposition that you're up with. Maybe that's what's happened, and we've had a little bit of reaction to that in terms of the effort we've had to expend to go up against these teams. And we've come through a really difficult period with a good number of points, which we're delighted with. But along the way, we have lost a few. So we've got games coming up, which maybe on paper in comparison are slightly easier, but it doesn't always work out like that in the Premier League. So we know there's still tough games, but as long as we can keep getting a few back, which we're hopeful for. The key on Wednesday was that we didn't lose any more. It doesn't look like we've had that happen to us. For the most part, everybody's come through Wednesday, which was important for us. Hopefully, Alexa Johnny Walters will be available.
It was a late call on him, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Well, we're managing John because he just got a little bit of an issue with his knee, so he's usually sore immediately after games, and after a couple of days it settles down and he's fine to play. But obviously, playing 3 games in a week was a little bit too much to ask. So we're hopeful. He hasn't trained yet. He'll train today, so hopefully he'll be an extra body for us tomorrow.
Is that something longer term he might need an operation on, or some further investigation on?
It just needs managing, we feel. I think there's things we can do, procedures that are out there that will settle things down, and then once he gets the required rest, which will probably come in the summer, hopefully that will resolve it by itself. We're not at that point yet, so we're hopeful with good management, which he's getting at the moment.
Talk us through the rest then. Stephen Ireland, Mark Wilson, Ryan Shawcross, Eric Peters. Any of those close? Any of them recovering?
Eric Peters possibly is close to coming back into the green. Tomorrow might be a little bit early for him, but we'll see. He's been training this week, but obviously been out for a month or so we'll see how he is. But the others aren't available. Mark Wilson, Stephen Ireland might have an opportunity for Villa next week. Ryan as well, but yeah, they will be available this week.
And Boyan, is he had his operation? Is he out of hospital?
Yeah, he's had his operation. It went well by all accounts, no issues. So now the important part is his rehab and making sure that he gets back sooner rather than later.
I remember speaking to you just before the transfer window and during it, and you said you had a really strong squad. But the bench. Well, exactly. I mean, I looked at the bench you had against Man City the other night, and no disrespect to some of those players, but they wouldn't have been your first choice on the bench, I suspect. And you really are down to the bare bones, aren't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, you have a strong squad, so that during periods like this, you're able to get a good quality team on the pitch, and you've still got enough quality backup. And that's what we had on Wednesday night. The team on paper that started the game was a really strong side, not too far away from probably our first choice, give or take a couple of positions. So we're still able to get a good team out there, and on the bench have still got options. So that's, as long as it remains like that, obviously we're fine. But we don't really want to be picking up any more injuries if we can avoid it. The longer we're able to stay clear for those injuries, then
that in mind, how many changes do you make for an FA Cup game against a Championship side away? When you're one game away from
got too many
quarter-final?
options to make any changes, so we'll probably go with what we've got. Jack Butland will play. He's done really well. He's an integral part of our squad, and got total trust in him. So he'll come in and play as he has done, play through the cup run. So that's the one change from Wednesday night, I can guarantee. The rest we'll check today and make sure that everybody's okay.
You matched Manchester City for 45 minutes. The first half was great to watch. The second half, they put on a bit of a masterclass. Does that show maybe the gulf at the moment in terms of the quality and the amount of money they've got to spend, and the gap between where you are in the table, sort of higher upper mid?
Well, there's difference in resources, obviously, and they've had the benefit of that for a long time now. But in terms of a golfer, I'm not sure about that. I think it was just more the circumstances of the game that really took it away from us. As you said, first half, I thought we were the better team. You need a little bit of luck against the top teams. We didn't get a penalty claim, which should have been a penalty. We had a goal chalked off for a marginal offside. It was a correct decision, but you need those things to go for you. So if we'd got our noses in front, I think Man City would have had a real problem with us. But the fact that for the most part we were chasing the game, got back on level terms, but then went behind the game. Really the penalty decision killed us. So that time, 3-1 down at home, you're trying to chase the game against a quality team. So it was more the circumstances rather than the golf inability and resources. But, as you said, I was really pleased with the first 45, 50 minutes or so. So the key is as we progress is that we can maintain for the 90 against a quality team like Man City.
Okay.
You've always had great respect for the FA Cup, Mark, haven't you? You've loved it. Something as a player, still just elusive for you as a manager. So you'd love to, go as far as you can this time.
Yeah, well, I've always prioritised the cup games because I've said many times before we're in 3 competitions usually every year, and there's only 2 that we can realistically win. So why would you take that opportunity away from yourself by picking supposedly weakened teams and underwhelming your fans because you haven't picked a strong team and they love a cup run. I mean, we're taking a huge contingent. Could have taken even more fans to Blackburn at the weekend if we were allowed to. But that shows the interest that the FA Cup generates, and we'd love to go to the latter stages. It's a competition we feel we've got a realistic chance of winning, so that's what we're going to do.
So it's 4 years ago since the club got to the final, and it really gave such a massive boost to everyone in the team.
Yeah, well, we still got a good number of players that were involved in that, and they remember that. So they want to be part of another run if they can be. We've enjoyed competition up to this point. We've had top games every year we played. Has tested us, and it's been fortunate, I have to say, that I have picked strong teams, to be fair, because if I hadn't, I think we could have gone out of the competition at this point. So we're giving it the respect it deserves, as I always do. Let's see how far it can take us. We've got another difficult game against a good Championship side who got nothing to lose. We will see it as a one-off game, so they can throw people at us and throw balls in the box. Maybe go really offensive, maybe indifferent to possibly what they produce on a weekly basis. So it's a shot to nothing for them. They can enjoy themselves and see where it takes them. So we've got to be ready for that.
Well, Jan's goal lit up the game against Rochdale. How much would the team love to do as well as possible for him?
Yeah, it's a shame, but we have to move on very quickly in football, and players unavailable. You can't really dwell too much on it. I don't think the team has, to be perfectly honest. We're looking to progress. We're looking to get to the latter stages if we can. I think if we can overcome Blackburn, then we can start thinking maybe getting a little bit excited about where it might take us. But first and foremost, we've got to focus on this game and hopefully overcome a very good opponent. And we can do that, then we can maybe raise our level of excitement.
Just one last one from me. Some managers have superstitious rituals when it comes to the FA Cup. Do you have any little quirks that
Not really. I think best work is to win most rounds that you're involved in. So it's been a competition that's been really good for me right throughout my career. As a player, as a manager, I've had decent runs. I've got to the semi-final on occasion. So I haven't been able to make that final step I'd love to do with Stoke. It's a good opportunity for us this year if we can keep on progressing.
Oh, I forgot to ask you about Oliver Shenton. Quite an incredible story with Frank Lampard and what happened there on Wednesday night and the couple of weeks he's had. Try and sum it up for us and tell us what happened, because you bring him on for his debut. I don't think he got to touch the ball, but quite a heck of a time for him, really.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of maturity. Obviously, it's difficult time for him and his family. But my thinking behind trying to get him on the pitch wasn't born out of sentiment. It was because he deserved the chance. He's a good young pro, young player that we've got high hopes for. And given the fact we're a little bit light on injuries, due to injuries, then he was there on merit. And for his progression and his development, I thought it was a good opportunity to, as the game had gone away from us, I thought it was an opportunity to get him on. Unfortunately, the ball didn't go out quick enough, so he was on the sidelines for about 3 minutes of the extra time, unfortunately. But he was there on merit, and it's credit to him that he's been able to come through a really tough period for himself and his family, obviously, that he was still fully engaged with the game and he was desperate to get on. So we're very proud of him. It's a difficult time for him, but if he keeps progressing as a football player and a person who's going to have a long career.
And Frank Lampard recognised that and sought him out to give him his shirt afterwards.
I wasn't aware of that, to be perfectly honest. That's a great touch. Obviously, Frank has lost close family members as well, and maybe that resonated with Frank. But I think that shows the class of Frank Lampard.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Mark, is there a chance he might play a part in the game at the weekend?
Ollie?
Yeah.
He's involved in the squad. He'll be travelling, so yeah, he has a possibility.
Mark, aside from all the sort of cup success you enjoyed as a player, I imagine as a manager some of your fondest memories of the FA Cup actually came with Blackburn. You must have looked back very fondly with it to your semi-final runs and that sort of thing.
Yeah, we went close. I seem to recall Morton Pedersen header in the semi-final against Chelsea at Old Trafford, where I don't think there was too long left in the game, and I think we converted that chance. And Morton, in fairness, over the years was great in the air, and you think, well, that's the one person you want on the end of a cross. Unfortunately, he missed it. So those are the fine margins that happen in cups. And I think very quickly after that, Chelsea went up the other end. And I think it was Ballack, scored the goal that took the tie away from us, so we didn't make it that time. But we had good cup runs at Blackburn at League Cup semi-finals as well. So we ran Man United very close. We always seem to get to the last stages, then hit one of the bigger teams, unfortunately, in those semi-final stages. So it'd be nice to avoid them if we can this time.
And with those sort of memories in mind, has it always been nice experience for you going back to Ewood?
Oh yeah. It's a great club, great history. One of the few clubs to have won the Premier League. There's not too many of them, so in a select band of clubs that have been able to do that. So it's a shame, obviously, that they've fallen away from those standards and those levels. Change of ownership didn't really work initially. It seems to have settled down, thankfully, and Gary Borrier has seemed to have steadied the ship. There doesn't seem to be as much turmoil surrounding the club, which is a good thing. And I wish him well. I had a fantastic time there, both as a manager and as a player, so I've got a lot of affection for him.
Cheers.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.